afternoon. It's been one of those weeks. I've been on the early shift and I'm on the early shift for the next 4 weeks as well. But we've been making progress, so I shall show you a few things that have been going on and we might even scrap some stuff. So the super exciting news is the solar is on. It's switched on. We have a green light for go. And down here, this was switched on Tuesday and we've already done 135 kilowatts of power. So just in 5 days, I mean that's more than enough to power the house and everything else and this little shed. Pure Energy Centre, they're brilliant. And today I managed to pick up some rubber matting for my gym, which is over in the corner of the shed. I'm just putting everything back now, but I picked that up off somebody on the island. She was getting rid of it, and 50 quid for some, I think it's 10 mil thick, so that's more than enough for me lifting my weights. So we're getting that back, and then we have chaos as usual. But I've got the TV, and I've got some gaming equipment. Fancy that! And I've got my car. There's my car. Look. So I mess about with that when I've got a few minutes, which I don't have. Then we have the bench. The munchies have gone. Some reading material. We'll move that out of the way. I did take apart a washing machine this morning, so we've got a couple of boards, and you see this board, how black that is. So I'm not sure how it didn't catch fire, but it didn't work anymore anyway. So we've got a nice heat sink, got a little copper transformer on there, and that's about it. And there was this other little board on there as well. No gold, no nothing. A little bit of copper there as well. I had these lovely things. These are loaded with copper. I love those. Solenoids, copper in there as well. So we're going to get some decent copper out of it. Still stripping the wire. Stripping more wire. I've got more wire. And that last little bit to do. We've now got... I've got a dirty lens. Sorry about that. Let's give it a clean. That's a bit better. Because I work in the bakery, I'll get flour on my phone. So, apologies. We've got 2 racks. And we've got, that's not mayonnaise. We've got 1 more rack to go on the end. And then it'll be bench and 3 lots of racks with 5 shelves. We have in here tin coated copper. We'll just have a little look. There we go. Lovely. And the other one, just call it electrical copper, because it's your standard copper. And that one is almost full. We get a bit more in there yet. Not sure how much there is. It's maybe 7 or 8 kilos in there. So we'll chuck them back on there. It's a handy thing working in the bakery. You get lots of big tubs. Copper ball's got a hiding place. And we've got some Bear Bright I've been stripping. And then over here we've got the motor out of the washing machine, which I think is actually seems quite big to me, so it might be a slightly larger one than normal. And here's the drum, but I need a big Torx key to undo these. And then this drum is a nice easy one with screws, and that'll just come apart. I mean, take the drum out, and maybe someone will give me £5 for the drum as a fire pit. Oh, sun's coming out, lovely. And my next door neighbour had the sun's so bright you can't even see it. Let's move that over here. she had an oil-filled radiator, and if you'll be able to see down the bottom in there, if we can get in there, hand out the way, you can see there, it actually caught fire. So because she rents her house out, straight away it's like, right, that's got to go, and she's ordered a new one and gave this one to me. I was going to fix it, but it's the mains cable that goes into it that's caught fire. So no, we're not messing about with that. Not in a rental property, so that's going to be stripped down. We'll get some cable and probably a really poor circuit board, but we'll take that apart and get rid of that for her. So we've got lots to sort out. I might take apart that washing machine motor, so let's have a go. Right, we're on a different day. Things went awry yesterday, so we're back with it today. Hopefully you'll be able to see plenty more with my new bench and the light. So, washing machine motor. So we have these, which were held on by these tiny little screws, which are 5mm, and they were very difficult to get to down there. So I've already taken those off, as you can see, tiny. And these should have some brass in. So we'll have to crack those open a little bit later. And we'll get this off, if I can find the right size, which I should have got beforehand, but you know how it is. This is really awkward sizes. So that's a 7mm bolt, but that should be the main part. Nice and easy. I'm hoping there'll be a suitable amount of copper inside this, as it seemed like quite a large motor. Some nice steel bits. There we go. If only everything came apart as easy as this. The only trouble with motors like this is they tend to be coated in like a black kind of dust, which goes all over your hands. I should wear gloves, but you know, there, look at that. I was going to say we might have to give that a knock to get that out, but we don't. But that is covered in like a resin. But I have seen some people cut these and get the copper out, but that'll just go in my motor box, which has got quite a lot in it at the moment. I've got 4 or 5 of those in there. And then that should come off there. Let's give it a whack with the hammer. There we go, nice and easy. If you look in there, you can see that. You might be able to see there's black dust in the bottom of there. You can see it here. And that is just, that gets everywhere. Not nice, but there we go. So a couple of nice bits of cast alley. Oh, better not forget that in the end there. That should come out easily. There we go. And that also has like a fine copper wire inside there. I might see if I can open that now. We'll see. Plastic. Let's see how easy that is to get into. And normally not too bad. There we go. Come on. Oh, my little teeny screwdriver, which will fit down the side. Oh, push it out from that side. Let's see. They normally come out easier than that, but When you're on camera, it never happens. Okay. We'll come back to that. Anyway, there's copper wire inside that. It's quite a fine wire, but it's good. And there's the fun bit. Now that, I'd be disappointed if it wasn't copper inside there. And that is copper. So we'll snap those bits off of there. And then what I do, I'll cut through these. If you really fancy, you could use a grinder just to cut through that. But we like to make things difficult for ourselves. Let's break that other piece off as well, so I can get into that. I try not to get in the way of the camera, but you know, it's not always that easy. It's a lovely thick copper wire anyway. That's the last little bit. A couple more. I think, yeah, that's the lot. And then snap that bit off there, and hopefully we should be able to lever that out. We have to just push that over. There we go. Missed one. We'll use the little cutters. There we go. It should come out. It should come out now. Comes round. Have to get the other side off first, I think, because there's some little brass bits in there as well. Look at the state of my hands. Look, that's what I mean about the black dust. Nice. And do the same on this side. Should have gone with the grinder method, shouldn't I? It's okay. I don't want cut through there. There's a lot to cut through. Nearly. I'm trying to do too much at once. There we go. Oh. If I was doing this without the camera on, I'd have done it 5 minutes ago. That's the way it happens, as we all know. And I wish I hadn't got my hands so dirty, but that's the way it is. There we go. Pull that out. And we've just got those plastic bits to come out. Those bits will come out of there. Look at that, lovely piece of steel. Now, we can get those out of there. Might have to just snap that out, because I want those little bits of brass in there as well. We'll have that one. Look at the state of that. And we'll snap that off of there, because I want that. And then we've got some little bits of brass in there. There's one. The other ones, just use these. Because we don't want to leave anything behind. They're not working either. Well, they should now. There we go. It might be easier to come out the other way. No, it's got to come out that way. There we go. We can't leave that behind, can we? Nice little piece of brass. So there we go. This is all for the bin. That bit as well. That's for the bin. That. Right. I know you all want to know how much that weighs, so we'll weigh that, and we'll weigh the main piece of the copper. So that's over 2.5 kilos. That is. That goes in the shred. The motor, 1.8 kilos. So that's nice. Got the cast alley, 700 grams, nice. And then we've got the lovely copper on the inside of the motor, which is what we all want. Let's get those bits, we'll get it kind of close enough. I'll get the tiny bits off later. And that comes in at 375 grams. So that's pretty good just from that motor. That's lovely copper. And then we've got little bits of brass. And we've got some little bits of brass in here. We'll just give that a smack open so you can have a look. Which I will not do on my bench. That should do it. Just open this up. You can see there that, which actually I broke most of it apart hitting it, so that's good. We'll prise that open. Watch out, 'cause there's a spring in there. Spring. And there's also a tiny bit of wire in there as well. I think that was all that's in there. There we go. You see that? God, it's dirty. You get a... I've got a brush somewhere. There it is. Just give that a little brush up. You see that? Nice, lovely piece of brass. And a little bit of wire. So that comes out of there. We'll chuck that on the scales. So we've got 2 of these. The other one's the same. 8 grams. So 16 grams of brass. And the little bits on there. So there we go. That didn't take too long. 15 minutes. So we've made enough money for our time. And we've got some lovely goodies. So there we have it. Something nice and simple to take apart. And if you've got a few of them, you can make some decent money. And you can get really dirty hands if you like as well. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you to new subscribers. And thank you for all the comments. I do try and reply to most of them if I can. And thank you for the likes. And I will catch you in the next one. And in the meantime, keep scrapping.